Seesaw Reach. So we're using this drill to create rotation in our upper back and creating some separation within that rotation of our upper back in relation to your hips. So some people, you're gonna need to use some sort of device to block your hips, because when you go to do the reach, you're gonna really wanna open your hips up, which means that the motion is coming from your pelvis versus your upper back. And the other reason that we're doing this is to get some shoulder blade motion as well. So if I keep my hips locked up and I reach out in front of me with my left arm, my right elbow is gonna start reaching behind me. And so what I'm doing is my left shoulder blade is reaching toward the camera, and then my right shoulder blade is coming toward the middle of my spine, which is gonna facilitate right rotation in my upper back. And again, the key here is doing whatever you can to keep your hips in neutral. So for me, I think it's easier to have a slight knee bend. Think about tucking your hips a little bit so you can have your glutes engaged, so that way you can keep your hips stationary. And then as I reach in front of me, I'm trying to reach as far as I can while bringing my right elbow back. And that's gonna facilitate the right rotation. I should feel that in my mid upper back. If I come back to the middle and I go the opposite direction, same thing, I'm fighting to keep my hips square, reaching as far as I can, and my left elbow retracts. So if I do the left rotation, which is gonna be leading with my right hand, as I reach out in front of me, you'll see this left elbow rotate back around behind me and facilitate that rotation in my upper back, and I'm doing my best to keep my hips square. I've taken people within a squat rack and taken the support bar and putting the support bar right at their hip level, so that when they go to reach, their hips aren't rotating. If someone's doing this at home with limited equipment, we put them in front of a table or a counter or an island or something like that, so they can block their hips on an island and go through those reaching motions without compensating in your hips. The other piece is paying attention to what you're doing with your neck. You don't need to keep your neck all compact, but I also don't want you to be reaching way forward with your neck and putting your neck in a weird position. So you're just trying to keep your head relatively relaxed. You're gonna get some head motion as you reach, but again, the goal is to reach as far away as possible, keeping the hips squared. This is a drill that you should feel in your upper back and pretty much, for most people, nowhere else.